Conservative New Media viewers, we've got some news from the NBA. In an incredible game that was a tale of two halves, the Miami Heat blew out the San Antonio Spurs tonight at American Airlines Arena in Miami, Florida. And they did it without Dwayne Wade, and did it despite falling behind badly in the first half. We'll include several links to stories about this game in the video description below the video player as soon as we can. The first of those links will be to the box score and video highlights of tonight's contest. As our viewers know, C&M watches nearly all of the Miami Heat games, and have done so all of last year and this season. So we have a pretty good feel for the pulse of what is going on with the NBA's most high-profile squad. I mean to tell you, C&M viewers, the Heat looked like 100% toast in the first half of this game. Looked like they didn't care and didn't mentally show up. If you watch the Heat, you know what I'm talking about. This happens to every team on certain nights. It's not just the Heat, and I'm not just picking on the Heat here. But coming off of a 5-game road trip and working on a 3-game losing streak, you just started to wonder if it would all fall apart again this season. If there could be a possible mental edge that was lacking from this team. You just weren't seeing that urgency you often see from the great teams in NBA history. San Antonio was dominating this contest, doing anything they wanted. The home crowd was anxious, concerned. The Spurs went up by 17 points twice in the second quarter. And then the second half happened. It was like a whole new ballgame. Miami, who trailed by 14 points at the break, caught fire on offense and attacked on defense. The Spurs just weren't ready for it, and they got knocked on their heels before they knew what happened. Miami outscored San Antonio 39-12 in the decisive third period. What had been a 14-point deficit was now a 13-point Heat advantage, and they weren't done yet. When all was said and done, the final score was 120-98 for the Heat. This is the kind of game that will and should scare the rest of the NBA. The Heat, without Dwayne Wade, remember, basically took a half off and then turned up the juice and blew out one of the better teams in the NBA. When it's going like this, I don't think anyone can even hang with the Heat, let alone beat them. Go watch the highlights. Listen to the crowd roaring. The game was carried on NBA TV, and if it is replayed, try to catch it. This was one of those special nights you don't see very often, and it is worth watching. LeBron James led Miami with 33 points, 5 rebounds, and 10 assists. LeBron got on a roll in the third quarter and just started to take over, burying 2s and 3s. Chris Bosh added 30 points, 8 boards, and 5 assists in the win. Credit to both LeBron and Bosh for taking leadership of the squad and digging in deep to fight back in this game. Mike Miller, who returned tonight from injury, had 18 points on 6 of 6 shooting. All of Miller's attempts were from 3. If you're a Heat fan, you're starting to see what this team can look like when it has all of its pieces intact. The Spurs were led by reserve guard Danny Green's 20 points. Green was 6 of 7 from downtown. With the victory, Miami improves to 9-4 on the season. They snap a 3-game losing streak and are now 4-1 at home this year. San Antonio drops to 9-5 with the loss. Miami will next face the visiting Los Angeles Lakers on Thursday, January 19th. The Spurs square off with the Orlando Magic tomorrow night in Central Florida. Reporting for Conservative New Media, this is Paul F. Villarreal.